Wrap your mind around no prom for Trayvon, no high school graduation for Trayvon, no college for Trayvon, no grandkids coming from Trayvon, all because of a law that has prevented the person who shot and killed my son to be held accountable and to pay for this awful crime.
That was Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin, speaking at the National Urban League's annual gathering in Philadelphia today, using Trayvon's death to push for a change to self-defense laws. Arthur Idala is a criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and a Fox News legal analyst. Good to see you today.
Hi, Shannon. How are you? And as heartfelt as that is, right? What the juror winds up saying really is keys on this. What she says is, you can't put the man in jail, even though in our hearts, we felt he was guilty. We had to grab our hearts and put it aside and look at the evidence.
And talking about the juror who's now spoken out,
correct,
saying that it was a tough decision.
And that's what they did. And as a legal analyst who followed this, that's what they had to do. And what's a little misleading is she's referring to the stand your ground law, which, as we know, didn't play a role here. It was a straight self-defense case. This kind of self-defense that exists everywhere, that exists in New York. If somebody is threatening you and was about to cause serious physical injury or death, you are allowed to retaliate unless you have an opportunity to escape. That's where the stand your ground rule goes. But here, there's no ability to escape.
In the case.
Correct.
Right.
When someone's on top of you, punching you in the face. So it's a heart-wrenching case. Nobody wanted Trayvon Martin to die. George Zimmerman didn't want Trayvon Martin to die. George Zimmerman wasn't some drug dealer who was out there carrying around a .45 to transfer kilos of coke. He was doing what he thought he needed to do. There was bad judgment on his part. There were mistakes on his part. But if George Zimmerman got the death penalty, Trayvon Martin's still not graduating high school. He's still not going to the prom. He's still not giving her grandchildren. And that breaks everybody's heart. And I'm sure it breaks George Zimmerman's heart as well. But we can't get so caught up in emotions that we throw our legal system out the window. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, and how tough is that right now? Because, I mean, you and I are lawyers, and we know about the letter of the law. And this juror who spoke out said the same thing, the way the laws were written and about intent and those things, that no matter what our other emotions may have been, we did follow the instructions they gave to the jury. Are you worried that there's now a different conversation about going around the law or maybe taking important laws off the books?
You always have to worry about that.
Because, this is deeply emotional, and any mother grieving for a child, nobody wishes that for any mother or father.
Correct. And you're right. And as attorneys, and you cover the Supreme Court all the time, where they just have to take emotion out of this and just go by the letter of the law. You don't want there to get such momentum behind this case especially, which is not the type of racial cases that people get behind. In Crown Heights, Brooklyn, there was a case where a Jewish man was killed by a black man when the crowd was screaming, "Kill the Jew! Kill the Jew!" There's no evidence of that here. In Howard Beach, in Queens, there were white guys who chased black guys just because they're black onto the highway and they got hit by a car. Those are civil rights cases. That evidence did not come out in this George Zimmerman trial. It didn't. And so don't make something that isn't there just because it's what politics-wise or politically, that's what we want to do. We can't let the law bend to the political wins.
All right, quick yes or no. The federal government now stepping in to investigate possible federal civil rights charges, even though the jury cleared them on the state charges. Yes or no, you think that goes anywhere?
No, and it's almost a joke. It's almost insulting that they're saying they're looking into this after this verdict, when, Shannon, as you know, they already looked into it very heavily, and they said there wasn't enough there to go forward. So don't all of a sudden change the tune because the outcry of the verdict. That doesn't make sense. Don't put politics into the law. That's not the way this country is designed.
Arthur Idala, good to see you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.